if the weather condition is not good or the weather is bad, so we may not get the relay properly. Even it happens even in our TV transmission as well as in radio transmission. Putting and maintaining a cables across city will be difficult. So satellite communication is solution. Once the transmission is completed, it's going to terminate the connection between host and destination. So this is another network device, that is switch. Dear students, welcome to Computer Science Revision classes. I am Ravi Kumar KR, lecturer in Computer Science, Vidhyaashram PU College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Students, let us continue our discussion with the chapter Networking Concepts. So in this session, we are going to talk about unguided medium of communication or transmission medium and network devices. Let us start with first one is radio wave. So this comes under unguided medium, transmission medium. So here look at definition. First one is radio wave or radio wave technology. So here the transmission making use of radio frequency is called radio wave transmission. So this is radio wave frequency is called radio wave transmission, another mode of communication. So here it consists of, there are two parts. One is transmitter and receiver. So the transmitter takes the messages and encodes onto the sine wave, and the receiver decodes the messages, and both transmitter and receiver use antenna to transmit and capture the radio signal. So look at the diagram here. This is a radio wave technology, and very good example for this is our FM. There is a frequency modulation radios. You might have heard all these things. Here is a base station and this is relay node. And here in the radio wave technology, there are two components. One is transmitter and receiver. Transmitter, it encodes the message and transfer through sine wave, and receiver, it decodes the messages. And here both the transmitter and receiver will make use of antenna for their communication. So this is radio wave communication. Next one is what are the advantages and disadvantages here. Now this is called a sine wave, and here it offers mobility. That is the one thing. Next, it is cheaper than digging for putting cables. So if you want what we have seen in a previous session about guided medium, there to have to connect two different computer devices, here we have to lay down the cable. It requires lot of digging work and lot of process. So in radio wave communication or in unguided medium of communication, it can be avoided. Next, it offers freedom from land acquisition and it required for putting cables. Generally, if we talk about guided medium, if you want to lay down a cable for different types of communication, and here the procedure is we have to take the land acquisition procedure, then we have to go for putting the cables or lay down the cables. But here all these can be avoided by using radio wave or unguided medium of transmission. Next one is disadvantage is that it is insecure communication and its signals are easily damaged by rain, thunder and storm. So this is normally what we have experienced in many of the radio stations. If the weather condition is not good or the weather is bad, so we may not get the relay properly. Even it happens even in our TV transmission as well as in radio transmission. So this is advantages and disadvantages of radio wave transmission. In the next slide, let us talk about satellite communication, another mode of unguided medium of transmission. So here, look at this diagram here. We are familiar with this type of communication, satellite communication. And here, this is a satellite. And here there are two earth stations. One is, it's called uplink, and second one is downlink. And here, the transmitting signals from earth station to satellite is called uplink. Actually, this type of communication required two towers or two earth stations. So one is called uplink. So it is uplink, it transfer the signal from earth station to the satellite. and another receiving end receiving signals from satellite is called downlink. So this is from satellite to the another earth station, that is called downlink, and satellite receives the signal, amplifies them and sends it to the earth station. Whenever the transmission takes place or in the uplink is sent the message to this particular satellite here, so satellite amplify the signal or nothing but it strengthen the signal and send to the earth station. So this is satellite communication. In the next slide, let us see advantages. And here large area can be covered, and putting and maintaining a cables across city will be difficult. So satellite communication is solution. And if we talk about guided medium, where as we have seen in the previous slide, we may have to lay down cables. So those type of work can be avoided if we make use of satellite communication. Next one, useful in sparsely means populated area. So generally we are using this in not densely populated, lightly populated area. And disadvantages, installation is difficult and very expensive due to high investment. These two are the drawback. Satellite communication requires a certain lot of configuration, so that is very difficult here. The installation is very difficult and as well as it is quite expensive. See, this is normally we have seen maybe of the space stations, this is for satellite communication. So this is satellite communication. In the next slide, let us see infrared transmission. Another medium of communication transmission is infrared configuration. So it uses infrared light to send the data. So here infrared light, it is among different networking devices or all the devices peripherals which are on the network. It sends the data with the help of infrared light and it cannot penetrate through walls. So this is the one thing here, one of the property. And communication through short distance wireless signal. So this is suitable for short distance communication and secure communication. Generally we are using it in laptop. So this is infrared communication. So where the communication takes place through infrared light. So this is infrared transmission medium. Next one is laser transmission. So here, look at the diagram here, and here direct line of sight transmission. Laser light, you might have heard of laser light and everything, isn't it? So it is a direct line of sight transmission. So unidirectional transmission. So it goes in a straight line or in only one direction. There is one directional, unidirectional, and high speed than microwave transmission. It uses laser transmitter and photosensitive receiver to at each end. So this is the here we are using the two devices or two concepts. One is transmitter, one more is receiver here. What is the drawback of this? Disadvantage is that again damaged by weather condition. So this is one of the drawback, and it cannot travel through rain and thick fog. These two are the drawbacks of laser transmission or communication medium. Now next we will talk about network devices. So so far we have discussed about transmission medium, guided and unguided medium. Now let us talk about network devices. I mean the different network devices what we use normally in our networking, computer networking. Let us talk about first one is hub is a device. So what is a hub? Say hub is a hardware device used to connect several computers together. See, normally this is a device we have seen in star topology, what we have discussed in our previous session. So in star topology, all the network devices, all the network or computers connect to the centrally located device, that is hub. So this is a type of hardware and it used in star topology, and there are two types. One is active hub and passive hub. Active hub amplifies the signal it gets, and passive hub allows the signal to pass from one computer to another computer. Here there are two types of hub, active and passive. Active is going to amplify the signal, whereas passive hub, it allows the signal to pass from one to another device. See, this is called a hub and it has number of ports. See, this is the place we are connecting different computers in a network or network devices. Next slide is switch. Look at the diagram here. This is the image of a switch hardware device. A switch is a device that is used to segment networks into different subnetworks called subnet or LAN segment. And segmenting the network into smaller subnet prevent traffic overloading in a network. So what is the function of switch, or why we are using function? It is we are going to segment the network. Suppose if there is only one network and we are going to divide the network into subnetwork or different segments with the help of switch. It is a device. It is responsible for transforming data in a specific way and for forwarding packets between LAN segments. So it is again, and here we are using it to transmit the data between two different segments in a same network or two different networks. So that is the function of switch. And to insulate the transmission from the other ports, establishes a temporary connection between the source and the destination, and then terminates the connection once the conversation is done. So before transmitting the data between two devices, so first the switch, it makes a temporary connection between the host and destination, and then transmit the data. Once the transmission is completed, is going to terminate the connection between host and destination. So this is another network device, that is switch. Again, it has number of ports here. This is again a port. That is where we are going to connect different network. Next one is repeater. Repeater is a device that used to increase the strength of the signal. So this is what you have seen generally in linear bus topology. So in bus topology, all the devices are connected to a central transmission medium. So all the signals from one, it travels from one end to another end through transmission medium. So if we want to increase the size of the network in linear bus topology, we have to use repeater. So repeater is a device, it used to amplify the signal or increase the strength of the signal in the network. And there are two types of repeaters. Amplifier repeater, it amplifies all incoming signal along with the noise. And signal repeater, it amplifies only the signal. So there are two types of repeaters. So this is a network device repeater. Next one is a bridge, and look at the diagram here. Again, this is a device with number of ports here. So it is a device that connects two similar networks. So this is the advantage of this bridge. So here we are going to connect two different networks of same type. That is where we are using bridge here. It checks the destination address of the packet and decide whether to allow the packet or block. See, this is the function of bridge. So by looking at the address, it checks whether the packets or data to be passed or to be blocked. This is one more network device, bridge. Next network device is routers. A router, it is a device that connects two dissimilar network. See, what you have said in the previous slide is a bridge. It was a network device. It used to connect two similar networks. But router, it is a device used to connect two dissimilar networks. And it performs a traffic directing function on the internet based on routing table. Actually, this is a device, this is an instrument, and actually each and every router itself, it will be creating its own routing table. It directs the data signal to be passed between the host and destination by selecting the better path or the best route between those two computers. So that is the main function of router. It is called an intelligent device, and it checks the destination address. If the address is unknown, it forward to the packet to the another router. So that is how. If there are more than one router in different networks, so it's going to pass the signal or the packets or data to the address which is specified. If the address is unknown, then same packet will be transferred to another router, means another network. Next one is, it is called as intelligent device or intelligent bridge. So this is an important device called router. In the next slide, we say what's a gateway, and here is a diagram. It is a device that connects two dissimilar networks. Gateway is going to connect again two dissimilar networks. It performs protocol conversion and data translation. Actually, it is a node on a network. So gateway is a device and it has to be installed in a network, and there is a gateway through which all the data and as well as everything signals is going to pass through this gateway to the different network. So this is a gateway, another device. Next one is called modem. Say this is the diagram, and most of us are familiar with this device, modem. So what is modem? Modem stands for modulation and demodulation. That is the abbreviation for modem. Modulation means converts digital signal to analog signal, and demodulation means converts analog to digital signal. Here, what is modulation? Actually, whenever the data is moving from our computer to the transmission medium, so that is in the form of digital data. In a computer, it is a digital data, but through the transmission medium, it cannot carry digital data, so it has to be converted into analog form or analogous data. So that conversion takes place inside the modem. So that is called modulation. First, it converts from digital to analog signal or data at the host end or sending devices, and at the receiver end it converts from analog to digital signal. That is called demodulation. So this is the function of modem: modulation and demodulation, converting data from digital to analog and vice versa. That is a modem. And here there are two types of modem. One is internal modem, second one is external modem. So the modems that are fixed within the computer, that is called internal modem. I mean, in some computers or in some CPU, inside the CPU, inside the cabinet, so modems are installed or fixed, that is called internal modem. And what is external modem? The external modem that are connected externally to the computer as other peripherals are connected. See, just like how we are going to connect other devices to the CPU, similarly, we are going to connect external modem to the CPU. That is, this is external modem. Next device is Ethernet card. One of the important devices is called Ethernet card. So it is a LAN architecture and uses bus or star topologies and can support data transfer rates up to 10 Mbps. So this Ethernet card. See, Ethernet card, you can see the picture of this. See, this is the important device in your CPU for network cable or for networking. So here you can see the port here. See, this is the port where we are going to connect our networking cables. So here, the computers that are part of Ethernet have to install a special card called Ethernet card, and it is connected through RJ45 connector. So this connector is called RJ45 connector, and here through which we are going to connect this computer to the network. So this Ethernet card, so it supports networking. Students, so far we have covered the topics unguided medium as well as few network devices. Let us continue our discussion in my next class. Thank you very much.